Hey folks, Amelia from Userpilot here again, and today I wanted to talk to you about diversity in product management and why it actually really matters. And I didn't really see it coming myself saying this because, I originally come from Poland. It's a country where, diversity is not really seen as the most important thing. So I have to overcome my own internal biases. But recently it really struck me that if you don't see the world the way your end users do, you end up designing things that are then not really responding to their needs. And that, of course, at the end of the day, affects the success of your product and the success of your company. But, even worse things can happen. We've recently heard about the cases of Peloton treadmill, which killed a couple of toddlers and pets because of the way it was designed. Like the product manager didn't foresee that somebody could actually crawl under the treadmill. Then there were the IKEA chest of drawers, I think, that were wobbly enough for a toddler to pull over themselves. And well, unfortunately, that also resulted in child fatalities and product recalls and terrible, terrible PR for the company. So, at the end of the day, investing in diversity in your product teams can really have a huge impact on, the success of your product business. But why has it actually crossed my mind? So recently I noticed a funny pattern in the product and the app. It's connected. It's a smart ring I'm using. So basically, this smart ring, which is the only fitness tracker that I was able to really use regularly because it doesn't disturb me when I'm typing, and I'm typing all the time, if you haven't noticed. Well, I noticed that it's sending me notifications quite regularly that my temperature is elevated and I should take it easy because I'm probably coming down with a flu or something. And it reduces my activity goals for the day. So it tells me I should not go for this run that I planned. So at first I was a bit concerned because I didn't feel bad, but maybe it's actually right. Maybe my temperature is higher than normal. Maybe I'm actually coming down with the coronavirus or something. But then, after a couple of months of using it, I noticed a pattern. And probably 50% of the audience here knows what I'm talking about. So women have ovaries. They have a menstrual cycle. And depending on where you are in your menstrual cycle, your temperature can be up to almost 1 degree higher. So this is exactly what was happening. I noticed this pattern after a while, and I wasn't feeling ill, and I definitely didn't need to reduce my daily activity. But basically, the product manager of this tool, of this smart ring and the corresponding app didn't think it through. They didn't realize that the female users could be experiencing these normal changes in body temperature. So, this is just a tiny trigger, but it really made me think about the impact of our own personal experience and personal biases on how we actually design products. So what do you do about it? Actually, yesterday I was at an event for product people in SaaS here in London, which sounds amazing, right? It was the first in-person event I've been to in well over a year. We discussed it. One guy was desperately looking for female engineers to join his SaaS company because he said he wanted to make the product more diverse. But this was proving extremely hard. And I asked around, and a lot of product people are coming across the same problem that, well, they may want to make their teams more diverse to reflect the natural diversity in the audience. But, it's actually not always possible. So what do? You can actually compensate for this by doing more user research. But then again, doing user research and conducting interviews is super time consuming. So if you don't have a lot of resources, a big budget for your product team, you may not be always able to do that. So what is the cheap, scalable, and easy way to have more interactions with your end users, with the diverse as possible pool of your end users? Well, micro surveys inside your project. So I have included a few examples here below in the post and in the newsletter as well. Go check them out. You can basically create more open-ended micro surveys, asking them about their general experience, what is missing, like what they think is not working as it should. Like, for instance, I could have given some feedback on the temperature measurements and the consecutive suggestions that my ring is giving me. If the product managers asked me, or the product marketers asked me for that, but they didn't ever ask me for the feedback. So, you know, like if you actually reach out to your users and make this first contact, they will be able to tell you these things that you may not be able to imagine because they never really happened in your world. So this is exactly what you could do pretty easily. Jump on a call with us if you'd like to see how to set up these micro surveys, and we can walk you through a few examples. And that's it for today. I know I talked forever. I hope you don't mind, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.